G'day guys, welcome back to SuperCoach with DR and welcome to the Round 5 Q&A. Thank you very much to everyone that did leave a question on my round review. I've left it till Friday morning to give people as much time as possible to leave something down there, and I'll do my best today to answer them and give you some advice if I can. Now, there are 94 comments, so I may not be able to give you really intricate, detailed advice if you've got a question that's really specific to your team. I'll try to help you out, as I said, but with 94 comments, I do want to give people enough time to actually watch the video before the first game tonight. So I may go through things a little bit quicker than what I first expected. But thanks very much, guys. Really do appreciate all the comments. So we'll get straight into it. The first one here, we've got some Reed Moyes from Time to Pay. I love that name, Time to Pay. Hi, man. Love your work, DR. Started off with a bang after round 2, just outside the top 1K. And post average scores every week, dropping just outside the top 5K. Brought in English and De Goey this week. Ignoring De Goey. Top 6 hold. So basically, mate, yeah, really unfortunate about English, isn't it? He was certainly in my trade plans. I know for lots of people, he was also in your trade plans. I think he's going to be out for 3 to 4. That's the news that's coming out of the doggies. So scrap him. And unfortunately, if you're an owner, I think he's a trade out. It hurts, but I think he's a trade out. But De Goey, on the other hand, yeah, I think he presents really good value this week, mate. He's under 500k. He's been scoring well. He's missed one game, so his price is a little bit lower than what is expected for what he's been producing so far. So if you want to grab De Goey as a bit of a value option at this stage, chuck him in your forward line. I think he will be a top 8 at the moment. So I do like De Goey, but unfortunately, English, that hurts. But all the best for this week, buddy. Jonty, g'day Jonty. New DPP to Lipinski and Dacos have opened my side a lot. Certainly has, mate, for lots of people. Trading out Hall to Sinclair. Love Sinclair as a pod, mate. Only slight concern is, does Ash lock down on him this week because he's been so damaging with that run out of the back line? I'm not too sure. Does he go to Steele? Do they not tag at all? I really don't know, but I really do love him as a selection. Round down to Bruce. Yep, I'm basically doing the same thing. Berry on field is fine. If you had him on the bench, it must be a pretty thick midfield, mate. 300k sitting in the bank. Do I use a trade boost to upgrade McCartan to a Pendlebury? I wouldn't be doing that. Or a Tom Green into the midfield or hold. Yeah, do you know what? I'd be holding McCartan just for now, mate. I wouldn't be using a boost to get McCartan out. I don't think that's necessary at this stage. All teams are different, though. But his job security, he'll give us a 60 to an 80 type score each week. I'd be holding McCartan personally, mate, without knowing your intricate, detailed situation, mate. But thanks for the question, bud. Rolly O'Neill. G'day, Rolly. Have Jackson in my team was wondering if he's someone who can stay in all year or look to upgrade to a fall-in premium. I don't currently have him in my top, say, 4 to 5 rucks or top 8 forwards at the moment, mate. Things can change. He's a really talented player. So I think he's probably a bloke that you just leave in, and then if you've got a luxury upgrade at the end of the year or a few trades you can burn, then I'd go for it then. But definitely keep him for now. Not sure if he'll be in that top 8 to 10 though, mate. Where are we? I2 and Oates. I don't know how I'm pronouncing the name there, mate, but there you go, buddy. 22-19 this week. Not bad. Got all the rookie picks and loops right for once. You're doing better than me, mate. I just cannot win the rookie roulette at the moment. Thinking of using my first boost this week. Good to see you haven't used one. Real Grundy and McCartan out for track English and Roses. Yeah, unfortunately, mate. Well, what can you do? So McCartan and... So what I'd be doing is, if you're really keen on still making that trade, I'd go out Real and McCartan, see if you can get Petrarca and Roses in, mate. Leave Grundy for English would be my advice on that one there anyway, buddy. John O'Carroll, one of the members of our channel. How are you, Jono? Good to see you, mate. Good to hear from you anyway, mate. Hope you had a great Easter. And you too, mate. Hope you did as well, buddy. Keen to hear your replacements for Aaron Hall. Keep up the awesome work, mate. Doing wonders for the SuperCoach community. I appreciate that, Jono. Suits on Friday at 5:30. Oh, mate, I'm going to be out. If you're available Saturday, mate, we'll do one Saturday if you're available, mate. But back to Aaron Hall. So top replacements for Hall. I like Sicily at his price. I think he just presents really good value. So he's a value pick. If you haven't got Hewitt, he's a must-have. You got to have Aaron Hewitt. Tom Stewart is that bloke that's just, if you watch a stock market video, mate, which I know you do, safe as houses, rock solid type pick, shouldn't let you down. So that'd be the blokes I'd probably be looking at, or else your man, I forget if you got him, John, I'm not too sure, Jack Sinclair. So that'd be the blokes that I'd be looking at. I wouldn't go Seagull this week. Shorty, if you haven't got him, even though it was a terrible week last week. Don't like the Ridley types. Dawson probably at the moment. So yeah, probably those blokes that I mentioned, I think, Jono, mate. But hopefully there's a few more answers in the stocky there, mate, because the stocky would have been uploaded after this. So all the best for this week, buddy, and I'll hopefully chat with you Saturday, Jono. Jerg TV, how are you, mate? Hi, dear. Coming into my second season SuperCoach, looking to improve a lot compared to last season, although I'm just inside the top 15k, which is absolutely shocking. I don't think it is absolutely shocking, mate. You look at some of the great content creators out there, and they're actually sitting behind you. So don't get down over your 15k ranking at the moment, buddy. One question is, Grundy a keeper? Dropping money every week. Should I trade him out to Wits? All right, so first of all, I wouldn't trade him to Wits. English you can't. Or I wouldn't trade him to Jackson. So no, I wouldn't trade him to one of those three guys. And yes, I think he's a keeper, mate. When I'm looking at my top 4 to 5 rucks at the moment, he's always in the conversation. And who's going to pass him? So you got Gawn, you got Darcy, who, what's going on with him with his durability, and then you got English. So they're the main sort of 3 blokes I think he's got for competition. And outside of that, there's not a whole heap of players that I'm interested in, mate. So yes, I do think he's a keeper. I can understand why people are looking to trade him out, but he's a definite hold for mine anyway, mate. Ronno, g'day Ron. G'day DRB. Been a big fan of your work for a couple of years now. Appreciate the time you put in your videos. I do appreciate that, Ronnie, and glad you're enjoying. Thanks, champ. My question is related to defence. Sicily or Pendles? I like Pendles more. Already got Crisp and Grundy. Worried about total points to Collingwood. In years gone by, top teams have had players averaging over 100 in the midfield group. Don't see Collingwood as one of these sides. Yep. Any advice? Okay, mate. So he's an interesting one, isn't he? Now he's got DPP. Out of the two, I would prefer Sicily. I think just looking at his work so far, he's been ultra consistent. Pendles, he's been a warrior of the past, and I still think he's relevant as a defensive option at the moment. But I think with Sicily this week, he's got a really low break even. He's looking to make money. He could go up to around the 550k mark. So I think there's a little bit more value in Sicily at the moment, mate. You do make a good point about that midfield. I don't know where he's going to be. He's obviously got DPP status, so he's been playing a lot of time in the defence. He did tag Neil for stages of the game last week. So he's going to be that defensive mid-type player, I think, for the rest of the season. Sicily, I suppose, there's a concern that he may be swung up forward, given the fact they've got some issues with their big men at the moment with injuries. So, look, I like Sicily a little bit better. Pendles could be an okay option as well, though, mate. But probably Sicily for me, Ronnie. Jordan Dinatali. G'day, George. How are you, buddy? Happy Easter, DR. Hope it's a good one with the fam. It was, mate, and you too as well. Appreciate that, buddy. One to say at the moment, the team rankings are super close from the top 5% to like 30. Exactly right. And that's what I was mentioning before with that top 15% or top 15k round, overall rank. It's not that bad at the moment. It's really not that bad. Less than 300 points, which is saying that teams are still right in at the moment. Looking forward to Q&A this week. Have a good one, mate. Thank you very much, Jordan. I appreciate that, mate. And really, really good point about those rankings at the moment. Harry, g'day, Harry. Another member of the channel. How are you, champion? Day DR, or g'day DR. Love the round 5 wrap-up. Had a howler last week. So did I, mate. Need to make some big moves. Hinge, Ward, and McDonald, Rao, and Grundy all in the chopping block. Have to decide between Hingley and Enish. Gosh, help me. Heaney and English this week. One has to come in. It's a pretty easy decision now, isn't it, H? Definitely Heaney this week. And look forward to having another chat with you with the members Skype chat, buddy. Daryl Hall. G'day, Daz. How are you, mate? G'day, DR. Had a high week myself. You have, Daryl. We've had a great chat on Twitter as well, haven't we, this week, mate? A few low ownership plays going big. Got the VCM McRae. Excellent. Good discussion on your Ward suite. Has me seriously considering Bruce versus Sam Hayes. So my Ward suite was, if you don't have a big last quarter, you're out of my side, basically. And he actually had a pretty decent last quarter. So now Daryl's leaning towards Hayes at the moment. Given his job security, you bank the 80k. All of the reasons that I mentioned in the stock market video. Earning potential, Bruce is worrying job security, injury risk, suspension, and Leon risk. All so true, Daryl, and this is what we've been talking about, mate. Rose is interesting, had dismissed him as a small forward, but had 2 CBAs in round 5, 3 clearances. Might be a good option looking at the stocky. So I did obviously discuss him there, mate. I do like Roses as an option. And exactly as you said, you know, he's a small forward for Gold Coast, but got a couple of hundreds in the VFL this year as well. One of the games had a heap of tackles. Other game hit the scoreboard. So got different avenues to score. I don't mind Roses as well. And round 5 review, I'll leave that till later, mate, and I'll have a good read of that. Daryl, good on you, mate. Appreciate it, buddy. And always love the discussion as well, mate. Trav Sutherland, g'day, Trav. Trav's a legend as well. Been chatting to Trav for ages as well. How are you, buddy? Great content as usual. I appreciate that, dude. I appreciate the time you dedicate to pumping out these videos. I, again, appreciate that, my man. Unfortunately, still holding Ridley. Is it worth boosting for Sicily this week or just hold an upgrade around the buys? Oh, is it worth a boost? That's a big question, mate. I'd love to know what your other trades are, Trav. Is it worth a boost? Ridley to Sicily. If you haven't used a boost already, I think it's fine to use it because my thinking around the boosts has changed a little bit. I'm going to use them a little bit more aggressively, I think, mate. So, look, I said at the start of the year that I like Sicily better than Ridley for 100-odd K cheaper. Got the same sort of roles, and we've seen Sicily do it probably a little bit more than we have Ridley in the past. Got that scoring history. So, 30 trades left. Go for it. I reckon, mate, go for it. If your team's in a good enough position to be able to do something like that, I think it's okay. But I'd still be more than happy with holding him for a little bit longer. That's what I'm doing with Whitfield, for example, buddy. So I suppose I'm not doing this. I could be using a trade this week, but I'd be a little bit more worried than Ridley than Whitfield. And that may sound a little bit crazy to some people, but that's just the way that I feel anyway, buddy. But all the best of luck, Trav, this week, my man. Next one, Stewie's Mountain View. G'day, Stu. Love the name, man. That's cool. That's cool. Hey, DR. How are you, mate? Hope you're going well. You too, my man. Trading out Whitfield and Rao this week for Bruce and a premium mid. That's okay if you're losing faith with Whitfield, mate. I can understand that. Should I bring in Baz or upgrade Bowie to Sicily or bring in Track and hold Bowie for another week? So, is it either Bowie or Whitfield? If it was either Bowie or Whitfield, I'd probably trade out Bowie because I think that Whitfield, I'm still holding on to keep a potential here, mate. I like Track over Smith just because of that scoring history. So trading out Whitfield now. Bruce, yep. If you have to choose between bringing, look, I like Sicily and Track, mate. So whatever suits your team setup, I suppose your structure, mate. But all good options, mate. But I'd prefer probably Track over Baz at the moment. Nixie Supercoach, g'day Nixie. Hey dear, held my spot in the top 250. Well done, mate. That is phenomenal, Nixie. Well done, buddy. I thought I was going to drop, to be honest. I think they've gone JHF to Bruce via Dixon in the forward line. Hold Laird. Wow, man. Laird is a pod for sure, but I think he's averaging 119, so that would be a massive move, mate. If you're in the top 250, I love the fact that you're looking for a pod. Dacos in defence, was going to bring in Stewart for Hall, but I really like Laird as a good pod option. Oh, man, yeah, that could really set you apart. I love that you got the balls to think about it, mate. I'm a safer player myself, so I'm a Stewart for Hall man. But if you want to get Laird in your midfield, then go for it. He's probably borderline top 10, isn't he? Don't know how Keezy's going to affect him. He hasn't so far. Dawson's in there. I suppose Sloane's out there for the whole year. Oh, look, man. If I'm a safe player personally, I go Stewart in this situation. But if you want to go different and you are inside the top 250, so you know what you're doing at the moment, buddy, go for your life. But I'm a safer player. Do what you want to do, man. I love the fact you're looking to go outside the box, bud. Next one's from Haydos. G'day, Haydos. I'm not Frolich. I wasn't going to try to pronounce the last one, mate, but hopefully I got that one right. How's it going, DR? Just a couple of questions. Looking to move either two of Chapman, JHF, or Rao for Roses and a Primo mid. Prefer someone that's playing round 14. In for a Primo defender that's playing round 12. Budget of 610. Already got Hewitt, Stewart, Ridley in defence, and McRae, Toot, Clary, Stook, Toot, Clary, Steele now. Jeez, you're going all right, mate. All right, so I would be moving Chapman and Rao. I'd be moving Chapman and Rao And if you're looking for a budget of someone with 6'10" in your midfield, I'd be going track, mate. I'd be going track. Thanks for the question, buddy. Next one's from Liam. Hey, DR, sitting in the top 40k overall after a shocking start. It's all good, man. Second season. I'd finished in the top 1% my first season. So that's all good, man. We have these fluctuations from rank. You know, I remember after I got 33rd overall, I think the next season it was in around the top 5k. So a bit of a fluctuation there for me, for example. So do you think it's possible for me to have any chance of recovering the season, have a real push for the top 1%? If so, any tips on how I make the ground? Read more. Thanks. Definitely, mate. Like, you've got a lot of time here. You know, we're probably, 6 rounds in? You could say quarter of the way through the season so far. A lot of time to make some good moves. We've got boosts this year. We've got some real pods that people are looking at now. We saw Nixie with someone like a Laird who could pop off, could be a real make or break type selection. I think that if your team's in a decent spot at the moment and you're getting your cash gen in, then that's okay, mate. That's okay. If you're missing a couple of premiums here and there, I wouldn't worry too much. Look, I think that the number 1 rank is probably out of reach if you're 40k at the moment, but top 1%, I don't think that is, mate. You know, if you trade smart, get in the right players, you can certainly get towards there, mate. So don't lose hope, Liam. All the best of luck, buddy. I've got faith in you, my man. You can do it. Next one's from Mason Ellsworthy. G'day, Mace. Hey, dear, I love your content. Really appreciate all the effort you put in and all that the podcasters do. Appreciate that, mate. And there's some great content from lots of different people these days. Just want to get your opinion on trading at Cogs, Berry, Bauer for English, Sicily, and Bruce. Helps the structure for buyers. So I wouldn't be getting rid of Cogs yet, mate. I think that he's got keeper potential and a bit more money to make. Berry, Bowie, I think, fine to get out. Sicily, Bruce, I like, but English you can't. So if you've got the cash to go Berry, Bowie for Sicily, Bruce, I would do it, buddy, if you can. Yeah, just it's a spew about English, isn't it, buddy? But yeah, all the best, Mace, and I would be keeping on to Cogs at this stage. Next one's Justin Montgomery. G'day, Justin. Away, champ. Hey, DR, got no SuperCoach related questions, but just wanted to let you know that I reckon you're the most genuine and likable character on YouTube. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that, buddy. That's really, really nice of you, mate. Thank you. I know it's only SuperCoach, but you seem like you've got a great attitude towards life, and it'd be nice if SuperCoach wasn't a niche market so more people could see what a great bloke you are. Oh, man, I don't even know what to say, Justin. That's like probably the literally the nicest, one of the nicest comments I've ever got on the channel, man. So, oh, look, man, thank you so much. I'm almost blushing here, Justin. But look, I love it, man. It's a real passion of mine. It was a little bit nerve-wracking when I made my first video, but people sort of encouraged me to do it. You know, give this a crack, mate. We think that, you know, look, I don't really like talking about myself, but yeah, I don't know what to say. Thank you so much, man. I really enjoy it, and I'm glad that you're enjoying the content as well. So thank you, brother. Peace, and much love, Justin. Thanks, brother. Napes14. G'day, Napes. Well, we've been pretty similar, haven't we, Napes? Last week there we go, the same total score. Now I'm 1 point ahead. Both had shockers this week. How'd you get 1 point ahead? Mate, next video, post your team, Napes. I want to compare this, mate, because obviously we've got different players there, yet we're so close. So, mate, hopefully we can both shoot up the rankings this week, brother. So, yeah, all the best of luck. If you go well, it seems like I go well. So, I'll certainly be cheering you on, Napes. Thanks, buddy. Richie Tolliday. G'day, Rich. How are you, man? In the DR with Regulars League. Classic DR. Love the video and the edits. Oh, lately, man, I've been struggling. I'm going to do a bloopers video. It could go for 5.5 hours at the moment, Rich. But I hope that you're well, buddy. Question for the Q&As. Is Bruce trade purely for cash gen, or is there a plan to put him on field at some point? It's a really great question, mate. Look, we're all team dependent. I think he's fine to put on field in place of another rookie that you'd have on field, for example. Even though Flynn is in this week, I still think he can give us some 70s. So that's okay on field. But for me, it is the cash gen. If you look at his break even of -93, there's a lot of cash to make. It's an absolute spew, though, that Flynn is in the side, and he's nowhere near as much of a must-have as what I thought he'd be with Flynn in. We've got Hayes as well. I suppose this isn't your question, but for me, it is more cash gen. but depending on your team structure and circumstances, he could be on field as well, mate. I'd have no trouble with that at all. But hope that you're well, Rich. Thanks, buddy. Next one's Luka Kirov. G'day, mate. Hey, dear, I love your vids. Thanks, buddy. I've got Hall to trade out this week, planning on swinging Dacos to defence. I like that. Provide the option, bring in a mid-primo. Just want to ask, out of Steele, Track and Brayshaw, who would you bring in? So for that question, it really depends, mate. Like, you're looking for value. Brayshaw's got a really nice break even for what he can produce. Well, not a really nice one, probably what he can produce. Track's the cheapest of the options, so at a price point, I like Petrarca, but I think Steele is just the most solid option, mate. He's the bloke that I want most in my side at the moment. But yeah, so Steele, if you're looking for that absolute premium player, I think Brayshaw could be great, and probably Track is that if you want to save a bit more coin and bank some money, I think, mate. Oh, so there's another question. Is it worth bringing a boost to bring in Roses for Ward or a McDonald type? Oh, it's tough. I wouldn't necessarily say it's worth using a boost because we do have Hayes next week, and we've also got possibly someone like a Hobbs. So for Ward, not necessarily, I don't think, mate. You can go for it. That's okay. Look, maybe if you haven't used a boost, we can start to be a little more aggressive now, and you could go for it. But I don't think it's necessarily worth using one. But I don't think it's the worst decision if you want to anyway, mate. Daniel Smith, g'day Dan. Class dojo on the book. I do too, don't I? Hope the class are behaving and racking up those points. Yeah. Well, mate, I've got a couple more days on holidays, and I'm looking forward to seeing the kids, mate. Love what I do. For anyone that doesn't know, I'm a primary school teacher. Got the 5-6s this year. Great bunch of kids. Just terrific. Just absolutely love it. But have they been behaving themselves? Most of the time, mate. Most of the time. Yeah. 99%. Yeah, maybe a little bit generous there. 5-6s, mightn't I? Next one. Dan Mashon. Freo Tragic. How are you, Dan? Press reply. Sorry, I thought there was more. How are you, buddy? Thanks, DR. Happy holidays, brother. And to you too, brother. I traded Rao out last week and got Noddy. What a star. Brilliant trade, mate. Well done, buddy. You must have a crystal ball, my man. This week, Grundy has to go. Controversial, mate, because I've just said I really think he's a hold, but I'm not going to go against what you think, mate, because you are an absolute star, my man. I can go English, Mills, Titch, or maybe Baz. So let's scrape out English at the moment. As a cheap pod, I'd love your thoughts. Passing on Bruce with Flynn, as I mentioned before. Again, this is why I love your thoughts, mate, and I really respect that. Hayes come in for cash growth. Absolutely do not disagree with that whatsoever, buddy. So really the question is it Mills, Titch, or maybe Baz as a pod? So, ooh, okay. Geez, Baz, you'd love to have him. My main issue with Baz, mate, is that I think there's 3 must-haves that are Bulldogs. So you've got Dunkley in the forward line. That may be a little bit controversial because for his price, he hasn't been really delivering, but I think his best option down there. McRae, obviously in the midfield, and then Tim English as well. So there's 3. If you plan on bringing English in before the buys, or maybe you just skip English before the buys, and you could get Baz. Maybe, mate. I'll just wait for him to have a bad game, but, you know, that Tog, you know, in the 90s for a midfielder is crazy. Certainly a selection. Titch, I wish we had just one more week on him, mate, because before, last week, I was just absolutely no with Titch, but he has done it for 2 weeks in a row. We know what his scoring history is like. He could certainly come back, but are they looking to blood the Wards of the world? Oh, I'm not too sure. And Mills, I think, is an absolute gun, mate. It's just that Achilles that does worry me a little bit. So, without that Achilles, I like Mills the best. Oh, man, this is a hard question. I've got to make my mind up, don't I? Because I've got to get through this quick. I'm going to go Baz as a cheap pod, mate. I'm going to go Baz as a cheap pod because you are saving cash and you don't have English at the moment, so you can fit in some dogs. And look, even if Baz doesn't work out ultra well, then he will make money and you can use him maybe as a bit of a luxury if you need to, mate. I know you're probably not looking to do that and he's looking to be a keeper. That's probably the toughest question I've had so far, mate, and all the best of luck with it, but just go on Baz. Don't trust Titch yet. 3MZ, g'day Lockie, how are you, my man? Awesome DR, had a slightly better week this week. Well done, mate. Need points on the board now, so I reckon using a trade boost. Need your expert opinion. Don't know if I'm far from an expert here, mate. You're talking me up there a bit, mate. Do I bring in Track or Green? Swaying towards Track because there's more runs on the board, but plenty of people bringing him this week, so maybe Green could be the option. Thanks again, all the best. Exactly the question I'm asking myself as well, buddy. And I think you've answered your own question there, or that's the way I feel. He's got more runs on the board. He's just got more runs on the board. I think Green is an absolute beast. What happens though now with Toby coming back into the side? Does Taranto spend even more time in the midfield? And I don't know what's going on with Hopper. Is he out for the year? I'm really not too sure. But if he's looking to come back into the side at some stage this year, then that's not great things for Green either. Track, runs on the board for Track for me, mate. So I love Green as a selection, and I do have him borderline top 8. I think top 10. But probably Track for me, buddy. Thanks, man. And all the best luck this week, brother. Sam Cullen, g'day, DR. How are you, Sammy? Trading at Real and Horn Francis this week. Look, bringing Roses and one of Clary, Brayshaw, Walsh. Who would you bring in? Well, I like Clary the best as a pick, but ideally away another week. He's got a break even in the 170s. Walsh has scored really well. What's that setup going to be like when everyone's in? I think he probably spends more time on the outside when Cripper does come back in this week. But again, Kennedy's out, so what happens there? Brayshaw, if you're going this week, I like Brayshaw this week. This week I like Brayshaw, mate. We know about the tag possibilities with Brayshaw, and that's not a good thing, but he is working through them. And if he doesn't get tagged, he'll pretty much pump out a 130 plus. That's pretty much the way Brayshaw works. So probably Brayshaw this week. If you ask me next week, I'd say 100% Clary. But if you need to go this week, then probably answer changes. Next one, Ricky G. How are you, Richard? Good to hear from you, mate. And great to chat with you the other night, buddy, as well. Member of the channel, appreciate that, buddy. A damning appraisal of Brodie Grundy on the round so far, about 1340. Haven't seen it, sorry, mate. Highlighting his lack of effort and effectiveness. 6 kicks at 0% efficiency. Yes, 100%. Talked about that. Cue the Mr. Burns shutter. I kept the faith with Gorn, you beauty, and well done, mate. But the axe is being sharpened for Grundy. By the way, love the catch up on the Skype call. That was a members one. We have a member Skype call each month. It was great, mate, as well. Pleasure meeting you likewise, mate. Any call this week? Yeah, we'll look to go a Saturday this week, mate. So once I've done this, I'll organise all that and pop something through the members section of the channel, mate. But Grundy, yeah, I absolutely agree with you, mate. Probably the main issue now is that English isn't available. So I think that we probably alter our changes, I think. Unless you're really keen to get him out, you can swing a cherry in the rucks for now. And then from there, you can use your DPP to go anywhere, mate. But yeah, English out is a spew. All the best, so for this week, Rich. And hopefully I'll chat with you Saturday, buddy. Next one, I am me. How am I going for time? I'm not too sure. Oh, don't do this. Restart. No, that's all good. Hey, dear, I love these round reviews. It's a great way to gather other point of views. Appreciate that, man. I'm thinking my trades for this week are going to be Hall, Grundy, and Rao out for Bruce, English. And so, again, this involves English. So, Hall and Rao, maybe don't think about Grundy and English for Titch. So, yeah, if you can go Hall and Rao for Bruce and a Titch, maybe, I'd go that, mate. I've got enough money for any midfielder I want. What are your thoughts? I've currently got McRae, Miller, Neal, and Cripps. Mitchell, he is a pod. Top 5. I've already talked a little bit about Titch so far. So if you could go any midfielder, and you've got the money to go any, I like Steele, man. I'd almost pay up for Steele. That way you'd have McRae, Miller, Neal, Cripps, and Steele. That is phenomenal. So you're paying up a little bit more than some of these other options. But again, you're saving 50k off your starting price. That's something we can't forget with Jack Steele. You're saving 50k on what you had to pay for him at the start of the year. Literally every week, from round 1 up to 5, he's gone up, 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 up. So he's probably the man I like if you've got all the money in the world to spend there, mate. Go quality, I think. Aiden King, g'day Aiden. Not sure if Bruce can guarantee selection. Well, we know that he has been guaranteed selection. See Bruce benched. Well, you're right with the fact that Flynn is in this week. Bruce is in this week. He is, well, according to the team sheets, named the number 1 ruck, or the bloke that is starting there this week. But his scoring potential does certainly go down with Flynn in there, buddy. Bad Machine. How are you, my man? Hey, DR, great work. Thanks, buddy. Question is top 6 players on every line for Farak. I'll tell you what I have done, mate, is on the stock market video, because again, this question was before the stocky, I've put a little 8-ball symbol next to everyone that I think is going to be top 8 in their position. So check that out, mate. But what I will do, if I've got time, is I'll go back and I'll actually comment on this one with my quick list as well, buddy. But going off the top of my head now, having to get through this video in time, I'll leave that one for now, but I promise I will get back to you, or else check out the stocky, mate, with the 8 balls anyway. But good question, mate, and I will get to that. Thanks, Bad. Joshy Jackson, g'day Josh, g'day. Looking to bring in a primo defender this week and Clary next week. Love Clary next week, that's my plan. For the primo defender, Stewart or Sinclair, it's pretty easy here, mate. If you want to go safe as houses, I like Stewart. If you want to go for more of a pod, set yourself apart from the others, I really, really like Sinclair. So safe versus more potential upside. And when I say more potential upside, that's the fact that he's a pod. Not many people are going to have him. He's got DPP status, and I think that he could average the same as Stewart if he keeps on going. I love Tipper. Hopefully he's back soon as well, mate. Hey, buddy. Hey, dear. Just wondering how many... If I have too many premiums. If you got too many premiums, let's... Jeez, these are all midfielders, man. McRae, Steele, Neil, Brayshaw, Green. Wowee. Well, I suppose you can't ever have too many, can you, mate? What do you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would not look to be getting any midfielders in. Obviously, your other lines must be really, really suffering at the moment, mate, if this is what your midfield look like. So I would be highly focusing on strengthening your other lines now, mate. So, yeah, do not bring in any more midfielders for now, mate. But, wow, man, that is the most elite midfield I've seen this year by a long margin. So, yeah, hopefully by the end of the year, that's what we'll... Oh, but hang on, you've got some... Well, you got Taranto there, so you can bring him... So, really, it's 6 midfielders, because Taranto moved into the forward line, man. Joe Coleman? I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that one, mate. G'day, Shorty. G'day, Shorty. Loving the consistency on the channel. I'm not sure if you've been watching Shorty or been watching me, mate, but bit of an outside question. And I love Shorty. The thing is, mate, Shorty's a much better looking unit than me, mate. Shorty's a good looking rooster. He has the most chiseled jawline out of any man that I know. So, yeah, great to see that you're watching Shorty as well, supporting his channel, man. I take no offense to that. Probably Shorty would take more offense to that than anyone, mate. But back to the outside question. I love it. How far away do you think Darcy Wilmot is for a game? Good question, mate. So, yeah, I don't think he's really, really close. The reason why I'm saying that is because you've had Dane Zorko that's been playing that role down there. You've got Answorth that I think is a lock for our 22 at the moment, whether or not that's on the wing, but I think Fagan just wants to keep him in there, whatever position that is. And you've got Kitty Coleman coming back this week. When I say coming back, I'm not saying coming back into the team, but he's available. He's over that hammy. So given the fact that Kitty is now back, he has been listed, on the team sheet this week, just as one of those 4 emergencies. We're playing on the Sunday, 4 out of the 8. So given that fact, I think he's further behind than what he would have been without Kitty. So I wouldn't be looking to get him in, mate. If you've already got him in at this stage, he's just looking like that loophole that he's been so far this year. Jeremy Bell, g'day Jezza. Hey DR, got a question. Should I bring in Brayshaw or Bailey Smith, Matt Rao? If we get Smith, I'll have an extra 100k to upgrade Grundy to English. So if that was the reason you were looking to go Smith, obviously those plans are out the window. I would go Brayshaw, buddy, if that's what you were looking to do. All the best for this week, Jeremy. Thanks, buddy. On to Jack. Just Jack. Oh, hey, Jacko. G'day, DR. Dropping rapidly to outside the top 15k from 1k. That's all good, man. Great to see you had a good start, though. Using a trade boost, I've kept some trades. Grundy, Hall, Rao, Bruce, English. So probably Hall and Rao out. And then Bruce, and you'll probably have some extra cash there, man. So if you got the cash, maybe Stewart, I'd go. But if you want to save the coin, go for Sicily. They're both good trade-ins. Just need thoughts on the trades. Hopefully I've got you there. Which defender go in? Yeah, well, I would go Stewart just because I think that he's just such a safe pick. We know what his role's going to be from week to week. Couple of other question marks here with Sicily. Not going track because I started with an extra mid-primo. That's fine. I'll go Stewart, buddy. All the best luck this week, my man. Trussell, g'day Truss. Hey dear, I was wondering if it's too early to get rid of Horn Francis and Rochelle. I think it is with Rochelle because he's only got a break even of 6. Allows him to get in English and Bruce. So yeah, if you're looking to get in English, mate, I'll just keep on to them now, to be quite honest. My think is it's not too early this year. It's not too early this year as there were so many cash cows this season. Also trade. Yeah, you're right, mate. So look, given the fact now that English is not available to be selected as a trade-in, I'd probably leave it, mate. And if anything, Horn Francis to Bruce is the one that I'd do, because Rochelle does have a low break even this week, and we know what his spike games are like. No guarantee, go 50, but he could also go 100. So that's just my thoughts anyway, buddy. Good luck. Silent Falcon, g'day mate. Hi DR, looking to upgrade Rail this week. Is it worth taking a punt on Baz or pay that little bit of extra money for Petrak or Brayshaw? My choice would be Track, mate, personally. But they're all half decent selections. Smith's the one with the most question marks on it for me. So Petraka and Brayshaw would be the two blokes I'd select. Petraka comes at a better price, mate. Sorry, next one is Anthony Willem. G'day, Anthony. How are you, mate? G'day, DR. Who would you recommend to replace Hall? The Seagull, Stewart, or even Zorko money isn't an issue. I'm worried about Zorko with his durability with that Achilles, mate. Has been playing well, though. Seagull, yeah, sort of relies a bit too much on those kick-ins to me. I like Stewart out of those selections, mate. Keep or get rid of Grundy. I am a hold. Sorry, did this before the Q&A was mentioned. Also forgot Sicily. No worries at all, man. Sicily's also a good selection, mate, if you want to go there as well. But yeah, Stewart for me. Keep Grundy. If you want to save some coin, go Sicily, mate. Goat X Papa. G'day, Goat. Is Cherry with his role potentially a decent F6? Look, he could be, mate. Certainly wouldn't rule that out. And do you think Bruce is still going to get the 100 score he's been averaging? No, look, not necessarily, mate. Look, they're playing 2 rucks this week. The week after, who knows? But I think Bruce is the one that will stay in the side. But my expectations for his scoring week to week, I think they will vary depending on who he plays with. This week, you know, a 75 I'm expecting from him. I'm not expecting that 100, which is a real bloody spew with Bruce with Flynn in. But who's to say next week that they just run Bruce without Flynn? So my expectations this week, well, they have to lower, don't they? I think, mate, if he's not the solo. Jack Lennon, g'day Jack. Hey, dear, I love your work. Should I trade Whitfield or Ridley for Petraka? Already trading Ralph for English. I'd be trading Ridley myself, mate, and I would hold off trading Ralph for English. So I'd be getting rid of Ridley. I've got a little bit more faith in Whitfield and just hold Ralph for now, mate. Next one is Kepsi Max. I love that, man. That's funny. How are you, dude? Haul out and probably Rao or Whitfield. Who do you reckon for that second trade? So with Haul out and probably either Rao or Whitfield. So it depends on who you want to go. So I would go, if you're going Hall out and Whitfield out, I would go probably in Stewart and Sicily. Or if you haven't got Hewitt, I'm just expecting everyone's got Hewitt now. I'll definitely get Hewitt, I think, mate. Rolly O'Neill. G'day, Rolly. Hi, do you think Nick Dacos could be a keeper in the back line? Oh, look, probably not, mate. Probably not. Look, there is a small 5 to 10% chance maybe that he could be, because we know he's such a talented player. Should only get better as the year progresses, or does he get tired with that younger body? I'm not too sure. But I would be basically thinking of him as my last upgrade at this stage, mate. Either in your midfield or your back line. But keeper, probably pushing it. I think, buddy. Next one, William Badams. G'day, Will. 2 questions. Thoughts on Ralph for Took? It's also worth trading out. Definitely not Cherry for English, man. Definitely not. I would have said that even before English wasn't ruled out. Ralph for Took. Took's just got such a high break even. No, I wouldn't this week, mate. I'll just see how Ralph goes this week. Wait till Took. Look, hopefully Took has a big score, but his break even's massive at the moment. I would leave this for 1 more week, mate. Leave it 1 more week. If Took didn't have such a high break even, I would. But given his break even, I'll just leave it for now, mate. Next one's Liam Plunkett. G'day, Liam. Would you trade in Jack Steele this week or wait GWS, or would you bring in track Clary, Brayshaw or Heaney? It depends what your forward line setup is like, mate. I really like Heaney there. Clary I like next week. Brayshaw's great. Track I think's the best value option. So, look, it's funny because I'm going to say Jack Steele, but I'm in this situation at the moment where I can bring in Steele. But for my future plans next week, wanting to bring in Clary, I need to go the cheaper option in track. So if you've still got the money in the bank to be able to do what you need to do next week, I'd go Jack Steele. If not, track or Heaney for me, mate. Matty Robinson, g'day, mate. Trying to work out whether downgrade Sherry for Roses. I wouldn't be doing that. For Bowie to Stewart or Rao to Petrarca. I would be... If you can, Bowie to Stewart I like. Rao to Truck I like. Cherry to Roses I don't like. Although if I don't... Yep, so I'd be getting Rao out, mate. I'd be getting Rao out. I don't like Cherry to Roses. If you can do Rao to Roses, I think that's okay. Or Bowie, to Roses, I like as well. Next one, Bully, destroying with the big bicep curl. Love it, man. Clary or Steele, who would you pick in your team? If it's this week, I would pick Steele. I like Steele as a better option, man. But Clary next week is going to be, at a really juicy price, you'd think. Next one is Jonah Scott. G'day, Jonas. How do you found an interesting comment on Grundy for you to discuss? Flat track bully. Recent scores, 53, 118, 96. Yeah, lots of scores. 153 versus Phillips, 151 Phillips, 83 Draper, 143 Burgess, 105 Witts, 140 Chol, 115 Soldo. Draper, Witts and Nank. Look, it's a really, really good stat, isn't it, mate? So basically what Jonas is saying here is that he's a bit of a flat track bully. So when he's got some half-decent competition, then he tends to struggle a little bit more and that ceiling comes down. But when he's playing one of those real second, even third-rate ruckmen, then that's where he's obviously going to pump out those scores. So, look, I'm not really surprised to see this, mate. I'd expect a 143 against Burgess. I'd expect some decent scores against Phillips. Look, it's interesting. I think what we look back to is his scoring history. And he's been one of the top two for how many years now? So, I think that most ruckmen in this situation, if you're a decent ruckman, your Gawns, your Grundys, these types, this would be expected against the Phillips and the Burgess type. So it's a great stat. I think it's relevant, but it doesn't overly surprise me. 105 against Witts. So who are the big... He's the only decent ruckman we've really got here. Look, I'm expecting him to still go big. If he struggles against Essendon this week, I have major concerns about Grundy. And I may need to reevaluate how I feel about him. But I appreciate those stats, mate. And that is really, really interesting. Really interesting. Next one, Cricket with Paddy. G'day, Paddy. Hey there. Wondering who I should trade in this week, Clary or English? Well, it's Clary now, mate, because there's no English. So all the best luck with this week, man. Julian Vick. G'day, Jules. Like Little and Stevens Hinge to Heaney Roses. DPPs. If I could boost, I could get rid of Ridley for O'Driscoll and bank the cash. What are your thoughts on this? I'll do the trades you're originally planning, mate. Would not be doing Ridley for O'Driscoll. Look, Noddy's got a little bit more money to make, but he's already gone up a little bit too much. Have you missed the boat? No, I'd probably back out of that moment, mate, for a boost. White Shadow, how are you, legend? Noddy's awesome. These kids wouldn't know what you're talking about. I started talking about the gollywogs, and I don't think Noddy is politically correct these days, but used to love it as a kid. Just reminds me of my nana as well. My dear old nana. She was just the biggest Fitzroy supporter you'd ever met. It's funny. She used to have the pantry cupboard, right? And remember, it was like, I don't know if anyone did it, but I did as a teenager. You'd have a few, I don't know, not X-rated stuff, but a few bikini pics. I used to love Isla Fisher, Beverly Hills 90210, Jenny Garth type stuff. A few posters on the back of the door. On like it was like a little broom cupboard that my nan had. You'd open it up and it had pictures of Roosie, Alistair Lynch, Richard Osborne. She's, oh God, I love God bless her. Love my dear old nan. But she used to read me Noddy books all the time, had the whole series. So, yeah, brings me great memories thinking my nan and thinking of Noddy. But you're right, White Shadow, Noddy was awesome, my man. Nick Nugent, how are you, Nick? Hey, DR, I think you're doing Whitfield, Rao to Bruce, Took and Stewart. Look, no, I wouldn't this week, mate. Witts has more money to make. He's got a break even of about 30, it's high 30s, I think. Took has a massive break even, so that is something you'd wait for the week. Look, I don't mind something along the lines with your Whitfield, Rao to Bruce, Stewart, but I don't like trading Witts out this week, and I don't like bringing Took in this week, mate. Just my personal thoughts, so Nick, all the best, buddy. Big baller Brado, g'day, man. Hey, mate, going Horn Francis Rao to get a proper primo in. Think they're bringing Keys and Roses. Can't afford any sub 6k primo. Forget Rowe. Yeah, okay. So just unsure on the pod route. Look, mate, if you're choosing between Keys and well, you're right. Well, Keys is going to be your pod. I can't keep him writing him off because he's been scoring so well. But for me, you're getting Track in, who's got that scoring history. Is it worth mixing on Track? No, look, I'd go Track, mate. That's just me. I'm a safer player. I'd be going with the crowd on this one. But if you want to go away from the crowd, fine to get Keys in as well, buddy. But Track for me, mate. People that are asking about Track, he's probably the man I'm going to bring in at his price point at this stage. So, Corey Blackledge, g'day, Causa, one of our members as well. Great chatting with you the other week, buddy, as well. What do you think of trading at Whitfield? Still 28 trades after this round, or should I trade in an upgrade this week? Look, if you can upgrade, just say, one of those mid prices or rookies to a premium, I'd certainly do that, Causa. It really depends on who you're looking to get in, mate. But send us through your team, mate, and the members thing. We'll have a chat, buddy. Next one, Luke Wilson. G'day, Luke. Quick question. Would you trade out Connor McDonald or Sam DeConning? Oh, interesting, man. Look, at the moment, I would, if you really set on one of the two, I'd trade out McDonald because it's just so hard with our rookie selections down back. I don't know who we're going to get down there, so I think we've probably got to keep DeConning for now. We've got so many more options in our midfield and our forward line. So for me, it's probably Connor McDonald, I think, mate. Matzo, g'day, Matzo. Got my lowest score of 22.04 this week. Well, if it's the lowest score so far, you're going all right, buddy. Mid-rookie's not really performing well. Well, I hope you bounce back, mate. If that's your lowest score, you're doing some good things anyway, Matzo. All the best of luck, buddy. Next one's Jerome Arendez. G'day, Jerome. I've gone Hall to Green via Dacos. That is fine. Witts to Gorn and also Rao to Roses. Witts to Gorn. Look, I suppose you go Witts to Gorn, but I think Witts still has another week to make cash, but Gorn's break even. Yeah, that's fine, mate, probably, because I don't think Witts is going to be one of those keepers in our ruck line. Look, he got the potential to slightly, but Gorn with his low break even this week, it's probably going to balance out. So that's actually probably okay. Rao to Roses. Yeah, I like it, mate. Yep, thumbs up from me, buddy. All the best of luck, Jerome. Dave's Music McFarlane. I like that, man. How are you, buddy? I'm thinking of trading Dill Stevens to Roses. Thumbs up. Rao to Degoe. What do you think? Love it, mate. Absolutely would do it. Go for it, buddy. Next one is Arch Vay. G'day, Arch. Would you consider Bailey Smith as a trade-in? Yeah, I would, man. Look, I'd definitely consider him. Do I think he's going to be a top 8 to 10 keeper in a midfield? Probably not. On current form, it's looking like it. But would I consider him? Absolutely, I would consider him, man. Next one, Ross Murray. G'day, Ross. Happy Easter, DR. And to you too, Rossi. Real and Grundy, what to do? Rose is a decent trade-in. Look, Real, you could go either way, man. I could have absolute egg on my face trading him out, because if you had to ask me Monday, I was 100% keeping him. 100% keeping him. But thinking about him, looking at other players that I want to bring in, the lack of trade out options in my team at the moment, personal circumstance, I'm doing it and getting him out. But I don't mind keeping him. Grundy, I am a hold on Grundy, mate. Is Roses a decent trade-in? Yes, I think he is, buddy. Thanks, that Ross, and happy Easter to you too, champ. Jack Lannon, g'day, Jack. Is it worth using a boost to downgrade Horn Francis to Roses? I don't think necessarily, mate. If you really need cash in the bank to make a big move next week, Yes, possibly. But remember, we've got Hayes next week. We've got possibly Hobbs. We do have some other blokes on the horizon, mate. So you could, but it's not absolutely necessary. Next one, Nature Bird. I just got some chilled vibes from that main man. Hey there, who would you prefer, Heaney, English, or track? If you look, well, English, absolutely not. It sort of depends. If you're looking for a midfielder, it's track. If you're looking for a forward, it's Heaney, mate. Either way is fine, mate. Just team dependent on which line you want to go. If you're stronger on one particular line, then just go the other bloke, I think there, mate. I am me. How are you, mate? Have you thought about what trades you're making? Yeah, well, they're chopping and changing, mate. But look, at the moment, it's looking like Rowell out, Chapman out, Bruce in, Petrarca in. At the moment, mate. At the moment. They're my trades at this stage. Aiden Evans. G'day, Aiden. How are you, mate? Great stuff to you. Thanks, buddy. What are your thoughts on old mate Ben Keys? Look, I actually chat a little bit to Keys' brother, Jordan, on Twitter. Jordan Keys, really good bloke. Supports Lions and supports the Crows now, obviously. So, really good man there. I love Benny Keys. I was really, really sad to see him leave Brisbane, but ultra happy for him at the same time because it was the best move for his career and so rapt to see him going well at the Crows. Look, I struggle to see him being top 8, mate. I really do. The main knock on his game has never been his work rate, never been his commitment to the contest. One of the blokes that you'd love playing alongside because you just know what he's going to bring to the table every week. It's really that disposal efficiency that's really let him down in years past. But he is getting enough the ball. The captain's out for the whole year now. He's a great leader. I think that he's okay. But I just think other blokes are going to be ahead of him. But as a pod, if you want to go different, I'm not going to say no, mate. I'm not going to say no. All the best if you do go with him, Aiden, because I will be cheering him on for the whole year, man. Next one is Sean. G'day, Sean. Hey, DR. Thoughts on Bowie to Rao, Bruce to Petrarca, or Bowie to Rao, Roses to hang on. Bowie and Rao to Bruce and Petrarca. Oh, okay. Or Roses to Steel. I like Roses and Steel, man. I'd be going Roses and Steel. But the other ones are also fine. Also fine as well. All the best of luck, though, Sean. Sorry, mate. I'd probably need to think in this with really... Give me a few minutes to think about it. But that's the way I'd be going anyway, mate. Next one's Terry Scatini. I think I've got that right there. Tez, how are you, mate? Get our thoughts on Roses and Bruce for Mead and... Sorry, these Facebook. I'm playing basketball with some old mates at the moment. Loving playing basketball with the old mates. Sorry, back to you, Tez. For Mead and Skinner, worth the 2 trades. Absolutely, I think they are, mate, because I don't know whether or not Skinner's going to get in anytime soon. Mead, he's definitely on the chopping block. So you're getting 2 blokes that are really going to make some quick cash. I think they are worth the 2 trades. So I'm just going to leave my arrow there to get rid of all these. Yes, Terry, I think they are worth the 2 trades, mate. And all the best luck this week, buddy. Next one's Marcus Chera, 98. G'day, Marcus. Here's some good discounted top premiums to target the next few weeks. I'm thinking of trading in Tracker this week. So Clary's definitely one that's on the horizon, along with Tuke Miller. If you're looking for those forward options, mate, check out the Stocky. I think's the best answer to that one, Marcus. All the best luck, buddy. Don't know how long I've been going for now. Next one's Callum Patelli. I'm not too sure. G'day, Cal. Hey, DR. Bit stuck on which trade to choose. Bowie, Real Grundy to Bruce, Heaney, Petrarca. Okay, so Real Grundy, Bowie, Real Grundy, Bruce, Heaney, Petrarca, or Ridley, Real Grundy, Bruce, Truck on Neil. I think Neil's a must-have, mate. So I think if you can get Neil into your side, I think he's a must-have. I'd probably go on the Neil option, mate. Next one, Andrew Yakos. Okay, first, your 12.1 team value still crush it. Not going too well, the cash gen. Thanks, Andrew. Still the SuperCoach authority. You are absolutely too kind, my man. Thanks, Andrew. And love all your comments, man. I reckon from the start of the channel, you've been with me, Andrew. So thank you very much, mate. You are way too kind. All the best of luck this week, buddy. Thanks, mate. SuperCoach Kiss of Death. I don't know. Should I read out this comment, mate? You going to look after me this week, buddy? You must be in with the SuperCoach gods. They've done kind things and bad things to me this year. Kiss of Death. But just quick thought on Will Brady's hand game. Oh, it was terrible, wasn't it? You know, saying Will Brady's good with his hands. What was I thinking? I muddle my words a lot, mate. But I'm going to leave that as an absolute no comment. SuperCoach Kiss of Death. I'm not going to talk about his hand game. Colin Young, thanks very much for signing up as a member, Cole. I really appreciate that, buddy. Hey, DR, I'm a bit of a rookie at SuperCoach. Well, you're in the right place, mate, because we've got a great community here. We'll all do our best to help you out, mate. Don't understand how you'd be able to make a trade Ward to get Bruce in using Rochelle. Is it easy for you to explain this move? I don't have Ward, but I still have Stevens, so same principle, I guess. I'll tell you what, mate. I will load this up. I'll get to a couple of other questions, but I'll load this up, mate, and I will show you, mate, while I'm getting to a couple of other questions. It definitely is possible, mate. Oh, hang on. There were some replies here. So, let's see if... Down to the bottom. Oh, George, so I've been able to complete the trade. Thank you so much. Couldn't do it on the iPad, couldn't do it on the computer. Okay, so... I'm not sure about that one, Colin. I don't have an iPad at the moment. Thanks for that, Jordan. I appreciate that, mate. Helping out, Colin. So I won't need to actually go through that with you, Cole. I apologised I didn't say that earlier, because particularly with that membership logo, mate, I would absolutely tell you the next minute. But knowing that I was doing the Q&A this week, I didn't look at any of the questions. So I do apologise for that, Colin. Glad to see you've worked it out, buddy. And thank you very much, Jordan. Thumbs up to you, my man. I do appreciate that, mate. Thanks for that, Cole. And, mate, hopefully you can get to the members' Skype chat this week. Make sure you send me a DM with all of your info, mate, so I can send the stuff through to you, buddy. We're getting towards the end now, guys. Marco Mani, I think that's how you say it. G'day, Mark. Thoughts on Baslenka? Probably answered that one, mate. If you really want to go there as a pod, go for it. Scoring really, really well. Nothing to say that he won't continue this. Great tog. Go for it if you want, mate. Mark Alford, g'day, Matt Alford, sorry, g'day, Matt. I've got Horn Francis Real for Bruce and Track locked in, absolutely. So I need to dump one of McCartan or Hinge. Options are to get Perez or Roses. Well, Perez could have the role with Hall going down, but I think Zeebel's gone back now according to team sheets. So if you're looking to trade, I would go Hinge out and Roses in using some DPP, mate, if you can. Hey, I'll say it. Hey, would you blow me? I will say it because you deserve a bit of credit with that, man. That's clever. I haven't seen that one before. The old bend overs. That's a bit old school. Hey, would you? I like it. No, I don't like it, but you know what I'm saying. The name's clever. This is getting bad now. We're getting towards the end, aren't we? Is Gresham a keeper? Well, if I mentioned this on it must have been the Stocky of the Round review. If people are saying that Will Brodie could be a keeper, there's nothing to say that Gresham couldn't be a keeper. My personal stance is no at this stage. If you watch the Stocky, he did not have an 8 ball. But I'll tell you what, if you ask me in 2 weeks, the great thing if you've got Gresham is that we just keep him for now. If he does become a keeper, great. If he doesn't, fine. He's made a heap of cash. You can just almost sideways him to probably a Fulham premium. So I don't know the answer, mate. There is a chance, though. There is a chance. I wouldn't say so myself, though. Next one, Cause. G'day, Cause. Who are your top 8 defenders and mids from here? I will answer this in the comment section, Cause. And if you watch the Stocky, mate, I did have the 8 balls, as I've mentioned a couple of times. Hope that you're well, buddy, and all the best of luck, man. Samo Asconi. Esokni? I'm not too sure, Samo, sorry, but hope that you're well, mate. Hey, DR, what do you think of bringing Petraka, Walsh for Roses, Grundy, Bowie? If you are absolutely set on trading out Grundy, then I think that those trades are absolutely fine. I'd want to hold on to Grundy myself, though, mate. But all the best of luck, Samo. AJ31, Roses job security any good? Look, he's keeping Sexton out of the side at the moment. Sexton is an okayish type player, so I think he's a really bad game or two away from going out of the side. But in current form, I think he's got at least a few weeks in him, mate. He's playing better than Rankin as well at the moment. So short term, yes. Long term, I can't really say, mate. But I would have no hesitation in bringing him in, mate. Thoughts on Bailey Smith? Thanks for that, Chris. Hope that you're well, Chrissy. Probably answered that one to death, I think, mate. I am me. English is out. Hamstring injury. Oh, no, mate. Not looking good. Hold or trade. You've got to trade, I think, mate. 3 to 4 weeks, unfortunately. Bruce or Hayes on field in the ruck. Oh, Bruce is going with Flynn this week, isn't he? I'd probably still have more faith, mate, just because Hayes with his tank, I'm not too sure, purely relies on hit-outs to advantage, doesn't really score around the field. O'Driscoll, McCartan or Nick Martin. Oh, man. Not McCartan. It's either Nick Martin or O'Driscoll. Oh, mate, flip a coin. Flip a coin. Well, O'Driscoll's just giving us a couple of hundreds. Look, I think O'Driscoll. I'm going O'Driscoll. Jack Lannon, g'day, Jack. Ridley, Rao, Hornfreshers to track English and Roses. Is this good? Unfortunately, no, because you can't involve English in there, but I do like track and Roses, mate. 2 more. Griffin, how are you, man? Is it worth doing Rao and Rochelle to McRae and Bruce? And next week, go Wits to Sam Hayes. Rochelle's got a bit more money to make, but I'm not going to deny getting McRae into your side. If you're bringing Jack McRae into your side, absolutely do it, mate. And put him as your captain or vice captain, buddy. And Kepsy Max, we've got one more from you. Track or Brayshaw? I think I've answered this one. At their price points, I'm saying track. That's it. I think we got through 94 questions. So I'm not sure how long we've gone for, guys. I've been installing this kitchen. So I've been buggered. I was up till about 4 o'clock last week doing the stocky. So my mind at the moment is absolutely fried. I've been thinking SuperCoach in every spare minute that I've got. Haven't really answered some of the questions that I've still got. This Bruce Hayes situation is doing my head in. Rao, I just feel like he could come good. But there's so many things going through my head at the moment. So apologies if I didn't go through this in great detail. There were some tough questions there. Some players that I find it hard to get a read on moving forward, like your Baslenka, for example. I certainly see potential on, but I certainly see some risk. So hopefully that helped out, guys. All the best of luck this week. For the members of the channel, thank you so much, guys. We'll be having our chat hopefully on Saturday. As I said, I've just been super busy and just need to do a little bit of schoolwork as well before the end of the holidays. So we'll work out a good time that suits everyone and get together as well for that. So much peace, much love, guys. Hope that you have an awesome round and all the best of luck for this week. I'll see you soon in the round review. Cheers, bye.